What's up, YouTube and the world? We're working on 2012 Honda Civic. This went to another shop prior to us and had a new AC compressor installed. So then the used car dealer brought us the car with a new compressor in the trunk. After taking some gauge readings and doing my visual inspection, we noticed that the condenser, the core fins that help cool it off, were all rotted away, and it was just the channels inside. So I figured, all right, let's start with the cooling system part of the AC system. And what was happening is when I got the car, someone already overcharged it, or there was a blockage. Not really sure yet, and I'll keep continuing on. So we recovered it, had 2 pounds in it, only calls for a little less than 1 pound. Charged it back up to spec. And this is with the old condenser in it. Started up, the compressor ran for 1 cycle, came on, went off, and stayed off. But here's the gauge readings. The high side went to 500, and the low side started to go down to negative, pulling a vacuum. I didn't suspect the compressor was failed, and it's possible that it is if it gets warped or the valves inside get stuck. I didn't feel that way. So I said, all right, let's move on to the condenser first. Change that. Started up, same condition. But I know now that the condenser can cool properly once it does work. So I moved on to the expansion valve, which is here, and that was the root cause. So Caleb tore the dash down. You got any advice for anybody doing this? Tell them what all data says.
All data says to cut this bottom bracket off after you take the glove box off. There's a dotted line on either side. I cut that with a whiz wheel. And besides, just make sure you have a screwdriver, because you can't get a lot of the screws with the screw gun because they're all the way up against the dash. And it's pretty. It's not that bad.
Yeah.
Honestly.
So we didn't take the evaporator core completely out of the car. We removed the expansion valve while it was still accessible without removing the core, and then we put it back together. The expansion valve and the AC lines, put it under a vac, made sure it was leak-free, charged it, and then tested the system briefly, and my AC spec readings came right into spec. Pretty cool. Thanks for watching. All right, keep it down.